Hey traders, how to improve your win rate trading trend lines. In this video I will show you just one single tip that will dramatically increase the accuracy of your predictions trading the trend lines. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's start. Alright traders, so let's start with the theory right here, and it is very important for us to remember the main difference between the horizontal structure and trend lines. The main feature of trend lines is the fact that they are affected by the time horizon. What do we mean by the time horizon? Here, if we take the initial point of this trend line and the end point of this trend line, you can see that with time this trend line shifts. Yes, you can see that with time this trend line goes higher, and with time it becomes higher and higher and higher, and while the price is trading in the bullish trend, its new highs are respecting this trend line. So while we are trading the horizontal structure, we don't really care about the time. We let the price coil as much as it wants on the key level. But once we trade the trend line, the perspective changes dramatically. And if you consider this time perspective in your analysis, you can notice a very peculiar thing. Hey traders, if you want to learn more tips, more tricks, you will definitely enjoy my ebook. There I teach you my entire trading strategy, from basic to advanced things. On my website you can actually look inside the book, you can see what is inside, you can see the table of content and the example of the chapters. Check my website, it is vasilytrader.com/ebook, or text me in one of the social networks, I will give you more details. Let's continue. So when we trade the trend lines, we always face two situations. The situation when the price is trading above the trend line and we buy the market from a trend line expecting a bullish continuation. Or the price is trading below the trend line and we use the trend line as the point from where we sell. And here time horizon can play with our expectations, and here time horizon can either play in our favor or against us. Let's analyze two examples together and let's try to discuss what is happening right here. In the example on the left, the trend line serves as a strong support. You can see that the price is trading above this trend line, and once this trend line is touched, once this trend line is reached, we will expect a strong bullish movement from that. So let's imagine that the price actually touches this trend line. The price touches this trend line, and from that we buy the market. We expect a bullish movement right here. We place our stop loss below the trend line. Yes, because it is the safest place for us to place stop loss, and we will expect a bullish continuation at least to retest the current structure high. What happens next? Then the market starts growing, but after some initial pullback, the price decides to retest the trend line again. You can see that in this example, trend line plays in our favor. You can see that right now the trend line is higher, and though we are talking about the same touch of the trend line, the touch of the same trend line, but you can see that it is already higher. The price level is already higher, and our stop loss already can be adjusted based on this touch point. So our stop loss can be already here, and we will be already in a small profit having our stop loss right here. And with time we will constantly adjust our stop loss based on the touch points of the trend line. So you can see that here the time horizon plays in our favor, and here it is very beneficial for us to take the trades like that. So let's take the second example. In the second example, you can see that this trend line is lying above the current price levels. And no doubt here this trend line serves as a very strong resistance. Once the price reaches the trend line, for us it gives a very nice spot to short the market. So once we see the touch of that, we sell the market expecting a bearish movement. We set our stop loss above the trend line and we aim at the local structure low right here. Then what happens? Then we see a very nice bearish movement, very nice initial bearish movement, but then instead of going lower, the price decides to retest the trend line again. And you can see that here the time horizon plays against us. With time, this trend line goes from us, and to hold our position, to still bet on this trend line, we must enlarge our stop loss. Yes, we must constantly adjust this one, and with time, with more and more tests of this trend line, we should have bigger and bigger and bigger stop loss. So which one is better for us to trade? Of course, the example on the left is much better. So each and every time when you see the situation like that, you will know that in the example on the right, you should definitely risk less because the time horizon there plays against you. But in the example on the left, you can risk more because time horizon here is trading in your favor. So now let's take some examples and let me show you how it looks in practice. So let's take this trend line breakout on silver. You can see that here this trend line was a very strong support, and then this trend line was broken. We saw a very nice breakout of this trend line to the downside, and once it was broken, according to our rules, that trend line turned into a very strong resistance. And no doubt after the test of the broken trend line, we expected a bearish movement from that. And here we had a perfect test of that, yes. And I could imagine how many traders shorted right here, because I was one of them who shorted right here. I saw this test of the trend line and I was expecting a strong bearish movement from this trend line. And what happened next? We actually saw a very nice initial bearish movement, yes. But what happened next? You can see that the price retested the trend line again. Yes, we had one more test of that trend line. The level of the test was much higher, and you could imagine that placing your initial stop loss based on this touch point, you would be definitely stopped out once we see one more retest of that trend line. Here the time horizon was playing against us, and for that reason you can see how big stop loss you should have to manage to bet on this trend line. So it is very important for you to always consider time horizon once you open your trading position based on a trend line. Let's take another example on oil. Here you can see that the price is following this very nice rising trend line, and this trend line serves as a very strong support. You can see that recently that trend line was tested right here. The price tested that trend line, and from that point we saw a very nice initial bullish movement. But then the price decided to retest the trend line again. And here you can see that the time horizon is playing in our favor. You can see that with time this trend line grows and it gives the additional support space for us. So you can see that after the consequent touch of the trend line right here, the bullish movement started from a higher level, yes, making our initial entry right here very safe. So you can see that with the trend line trading, it is very important to remember about the time. Each and every time when you are planning your entry based on a trend line, you should try to assess the potential time horizon of your trading position. You must know exactly how much time the market will need in case if the trend line is going against you. But once the trend line is trading in your favor, you can start adjustment of your stop loss, yes, and you can make your position safer and safer once the price starts growing from your entry. Alright traders, thank you so much for watching. I hope that with this one single tip, the accuracy of your predictions trading the trend lines will increase dramatically. Practice that, look how the price reacts to these trend lines, and you will see how different it is. For more tips, for more education, don't forget to check my ebook, the link in the description below. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you next week.